Hey guys, it's Angie. Today we're going to be doing a bullet wound, and this is the entry wound. I'm also going to be doing the exit wound, so keep a lookout for that tutorial as well. An entry wound occurs when the bullet penetrates the skin, so we're going to start off by creating a divot in the skin using rigid collodion. Now you want to think about the size of the bullet as well as how deep you want the divot to be, and with that in mind you want to apply your collodion. For those of you who don't know what rigid collodion is, it's basically a scarring liquid. It doesn't scar you, but as it dries it constricts the skin and creates kind of a divot in the skin, or like a scar. So when you apply this, you want to apply one layer first, let it dry, apply another layer, let it dry, and just keep continuing that process until you get the correct depth for your wound. To color inside the entry wound, I used PPI's complexion palette, and the colors I used were called Murder, which is quite appropriate, and Capillary. I kept the Murder kind of around the center, and then the Capillary on the outer edges of the wound. You can also dab any excess away with a Q-tip. Next, I'm using a silicone adhesive thinned down with a little bit of a thinner, and I'm applying that around the wound. You could also use spirit gum, Prozade, any kind of adhesive. And I'm doing that because I'm going to be applying a plasto wax around the edges of the wound. And as you'll notice, I'm applying a little bit of moisturizer to my fingertips. This is going to help me mold the wax in the shape that I need, so the wax doesn't stick to my fingers essentially. Now here's the process of me creating a donut out of wax. Basically just creating a flat piece of wax and molding it into a circle. A wax donut. That sounds gross. That would not be very tasty. That should be the keyword of this video. Everybody comment wax donut. And creep everybody out who doesn't watch the whole video. That'd be funny. Once you've created the most perfect wax donut in the history of mankind, you want to press it down onto your wound. Then you want to take a spatula or some sort of implement, like I'm using on the screen, and hollow out that wound. Just clean up the edges of the wax on the inside of the wound. And then, my friends, you're going to blend that wax down into the skin. You could use a popsicle stick, use any kind of flat implement that you have. The goal here is to blend the wax down into the skin and just have a very thin lip of wax around the perimeter of the wound. One of the coolest things about wax is it's very receptive to receiving textures, so we're going to put some skin texture into the wax using two different sponges. This is a red facial sponge. I think I bought this at Sally's, and then I'm going to be using a black stipple sponge as well. The final step is to add a bit of blood. I'm going to be using the Fleet Street blood because it dries and stays shiny and stays in place. I really love that. So I'm just going to put that in the center of the wound, and this is completely optional, but you can also add a trail of blood coming from the bullet hole. And for the love of Newton, please remember gravity and how it would affect the trail of blood. And that wraps up this entry wound tutorial. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and join me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And also check out my other FX tutorials. I have a lot of them. There's going to be a ton more coming up. And the exit wound tutorial will be up next because it goes with the entry wound and it's really gruesome. So you guys are going to enjoy that. Otherwise, thanks again guys for watching. Take care and I'll see you soon. Bye.